particular discussion is on the very interesting topic, that is funding agencies. Most scientific and technical development is expected to be originated from research and development organization as well as from different department. In the previous session, you might be discussing on how we prepare different kind of research proposal and what are the essentials required when we are preparing different research proposals. And all those research proposals which are prepared by institutions or by organizations require funding. Funding can be in terms of resource, in terms of money resources, in terms of time expenditure and human effort required to complete those particular project, and those project is required funding. So funding agencies are the major actors which provide fund, but yes, these funding agencies put some conditions and criteria for the various organization as well as institution when they are providing research grant for those particular project. So in India, research and development is generally undertaken by academia, is undertaken by government sector as well as by industry, and some of the projects are also funded by the private organization. But yes, for the private organization, it's not always a profitable venture for the private organization to spend on these kind of the projects. So major contribution for the funding agencies by government side only or with the help of the educational institution. So what do we mean by funding agencies? As given by the definition of funding bodies and organizations that provide research funding in the form of research grants or scholarship, and these include the Art Council and Research Councils for the funding of the science. Means organizations or project that require funding normally have to go through some kind of competitive selection process, and only the project that have potential would be chosen for funds by those different funding agencies. As we earlier discussed, that funding agencies are the bodies that provide different kind of financial resources, usually in the form of the money, and other values also be counted in terms of human effort or time required to fulfill those particular project. In India, research councils, government agencies, and some of the projects that are related to the social issues or related to the specific issues pertained in the society are also funded by different non-profitable organizations that are NGOs. So funding is important aspect when we are preparing research proposal to seek grant from the various resources. Now there are three different types of funding agencies. First one is the science-based funding agencies. Science-based funding agencies are basically the agencies those sponsor the projects and handle the issues that are directly related to some kind of disciplinary committee. For example, AICT is a funding agency, DST, CSIR are considered as the science-based funding agencies that are set up to serve the interest of some specific scientific community. Second basic type of funding agency is strategic based funding agencies. These kind of funding agencies are set up to promote research in some specific or in some particular area. For example, Ministry of Health and Environment, Ministry of Power Resources, Ministry of Water Development. These are the agencies that provide fund for the projects that are related to the particular area. So these are the problems that are raised by some kind of scientific community, some disciplinary committee, or some external actors can also seek fund from these type of funding agencies. Third category of different kind of funding agencies, politically based funding agencies. These are the rare cases, but yes, in India, there are some of the funding agencies that are serving the immediate interest of a ministry. For example, Ministry of Coal, Ministry of Power Resources. These are the example of some of the political based funding agencies. So my question to the participant is, when you send your research proposal, what are the problems faced by you to get fund for those particular research project? Any participant from any institution? what are the problems faced by you whenever you send a research proposal to the different funding agencies?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Actually, we sometimes don't know to whom is to be routed, and which are the agencies which are for specific areas. Okay, there may be specific groups or areas. There may be thrust areas. So that time the candidate will not be knowing exactly which agency to send so that it is accepted without much delay.
Okay. You're from which institution, sir?
MS University.
Thank you. From any other institution?
I think after some time.
Yes, from any other institution, whenever you send your research proposal for any funding agency, what are the various problems faced by you?
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Calling from Gandhi Engineering College.
Yes, sir.
When we sending research proposals, we are having certain difficulties related to some documents, what they have asked for, because those documents we are having, but those documents with having separate naming, we understand. But when they are calling, those documents may be some other formats, some other forms or other names. So it's a one type of ambiguity, or it's a confusion about which documents we need to be attached at the time of sending resource proposal.
Okay.
And another thing is, when we are having annexer, different annexers should be there for fund utilization and either that fund settlement. All this thing is also very difficult, where which sign to be required and what are the data they are asking for. Some part of proposals we have faced this type of difficulties.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So whenever we're sending different kind of a research proposal, there are n number of problems that are faced by the researcher that can be related to the documentation process, that can be related to when they are choosing some of the funding agency, which project is best suitable for what type of funding agency. So the first and important parameter to be considered as why should funding agency be so concerned with the research integrity? In India, when the research proposals are sent to various funding agency, only 10 to 30% of the projects are graded as very good as well as an excellent category. And the project, those are graded very good, only 50% of those projects can be funded by the various funding agencies, because there are certain conditions and criteria that are fixed by the funding agencies, and they always and funding agencies have an obligation to ensure that the research they are sponsored or the research for which they are providing fund must be in accordance to the standards that are fixed by those particular funding agencies. So there are different parameters to be considered while we are selecting different kind of funding agencies. First one is the funding agencies are responsible for the conduct of the research process. It's a very essence of the scientific enterprise and intrinsic to the society trust in the sciences. Second parameter, they looked upon for the credibility of the science. Whenever we are preparing different kind of the research proposal, there are chances that errors may happen while writing those particular research proposals. And cost of self-correction. Another parameter the funding agencies looked rigorously for: what will be the economical cost for that particular project, what will be the expenditure time for that particular project, and what kind of human effort required to complete that particular project. And use of the fund. Whichever the institution or organization the funding agencies are sponsoring, they look for their previous history regarding the use of the funds by that particular organization. And the role that is placed by the funding agency to reinforce the research integrity is, first one is the promotion. Promotion means the funding agencies, while providing funds, encourage institutions to develop and implement policies and systems to promote integrity in all aspects of the research enterprises. Second parameter is education. When I said education means When we are preparing research proposal, means our knowledge must be up to date regarding the fundamental knowledge of your subject, regarding the emerging technologies in your field of specialization. So at educational level, there must be a continuous training of the faculty as well as the research scholars, so that they can take initiative or develop some kind of a project that must educate the researcher and the student. Third important parameter is the transparent process. The funding agencies require transparency in all kind of the aspects regarding the resources that are available at an institution level, or where the institution is sharing those kind of resources for the fulfillment of that particular project, what kind of the mandate is required, what type of policies and practices that are used by the parent organization when they are having some kind of research grant from that funding agency. Third is responses to allegation of the misconduct. During any investigation, in the initiation of the project, once you have fund, after having that fund, when you are fulfilling that particular project, during investigation, if there is any misconduct by the parent organization or by the researcher, they support a process. Funding agencies support a process that values accountability, that values time frame and fairness regarding to that particular research project. So these are the important parameters need to be considered. Next is, what are the essentials for funded project? As sir said that there is some difficulty while choosing the specific area or what kind of funding agencies while sending their research proposal. So first one is, the whenever you're preparing your research proposal, these are the things to keep into your mind. First one is the outstanding signs. Means what are the principles required to frame that particular research proposal? Preparation. Whenever you're preparing your research proposal, it must always be with respect to the funding agency. Means first you study the conditions and terms that are prescribed by the specific funding agencies. As we earlier discussed, that there are three different type of the funding agency. First one is the science-based funding. If your research proposal is related to some specific area of your field, you'll look out for AICT guidelines, UGC guidelines, GST or CSIR. What are the various funding agencies who are sponsoring those kind of and different projects? And what are the terms and conditions that are prescribed by those funding agencies? The research proposal must be prepared with respect to that particular funding agency. Next is the care in presentation. No matter how good the concept is, if your proposal is badly organized and not structured in the way the funding agency is required, means there are chances that your project cannot be funded by that particular funding agency. And the important step is the follow-up. While sending your research proposal to the funding agency, always identify what are the various suitable funding agencies and what are the significant projects that are carried out by those particular agencies in the past, and what will be the future mission and vision statement of those particular funding agencies. After studying all these parameters regarding that funding agencies, you need to prepare your research proposal and send your research proposal to the best suitable funding agency. And I think these all parameters must be covered in the research proposal part. That is, what are the facts to be kept in mind? First one is the knowledge of your field. When I said knowledge of your field, means you need to identify, is the work is fundamental to the field? Does that work have broader implications? And does it make use of the emerging technologies? And can that particular project must be completed within that prescribed time limit and budget? Competition. Competition means n number of people can be looking for the fund. How your approach is different from those organization or those institutions. Third one is funding agency. Funding agency means, have you already done a significant piece of the work related to that particular project, and what kind of funding agency is providing fund for that particular project? Next is guidelines, due date, proposal length, and required statement. These are the predefined terms by the funding agencies. Budget, what can be the constraints on the budget? What are the budget in terms of overhead expenses, accurate cost, and funds that are provided by the funding agency? What kind of local support is required to fulfill or complete that particular project? That local support can be taken from your parent institution or the institution in your vicinity. And overall organization is required in terms of sciences. Sciences means feasibility of your project, time frame of your project. Second is management. Management in terms of personnel and other resources and link with the other group and facilities to fulfill that particular project. And budget. When you said budget, budget means justification of the expenditure. The detail must be submitted to the funding agency as and when they require that details. And aim, the basic aim is to complete the transparency process that is required by the funding. And why institution or organization seek fund? Because funding enable the process of the research at institution level. It attract n number of research scholars at your institution level. It measure the quality of the work the institution or the research scholar is doing. It also an added income resources for the research scholar, and it build collaboration and increase the exposure. And how to choose or how to secure a funding agency. First is identify relevant funding agencies. When I said identify relevant funding agencies, find the sources of the funding by exploring different resources, by different organization or by different researcher. Next is research the program. Research the program means read the material that is published by that particular funding organization, means who has been funded for what will be the review process of that funding organization, who decide or who will be the peer review team for that particular funding agency, what kind of the budget they are providing to the various institutions in the past, and what will be the duration of the project for whom they are providing funds for the research process. Another is get to know the program officer. Networking is important when we seek fund from any organization. What is the real? Get to know the program officer means contact the program officer personally if possible and know the real story of the funding. On what condition they provide funds for the various organizations. What can be the strategies or the procedure that need to be followed by the researcher while preparing the research proposal for that particular funding agency. And get feedback and revise. After having all the suggestions and strategies that are defined by that particular funding agencies, adopted that particular style, write your research proposal, and if needed, revise your research proposal according to the terms and conditions that are prescribed by the funding agency. Next is in India, what are the various factors that affecting funding? There are three different factors that affecting funding in India. First one is the convergence of policies on the common proposal. In India, we are still in a formative phase. Means we need to work a lot when we seek fund from the various funding organizations. There are n number of the policies with somewhat similar type of the guidelines. So a rigorous work need to be done before the proposal is to be prepared by the research proposal and choose a right and appropriate funding agency for that particular proposal. Sometimes it's also possible that you apply multiple funding agencies and track simultaneously, but in India there is a individual process. One-on-one we have to evaluate various funding agency and then only we send our research proposal to those funding agencies. And automation of the compliances. It's an urgent requirement in India to have a clear picture of the compliance of the different formats agencies so that the researcher need not to done extra work while choosing that particular funding organization. So there are three main problems in India when we seek fund. First one is n number of funding agency with somewhat similar kind of the proposal preparation for the different project. Implementation of the standard means we cannot send a similar kind of a proposal to the multiple funding agencies, and automation of a compliance means the researcher need to do work again and again and spend maximum amount of the time to interpreting the rules that are prescribed by the funding agency while selecting that particular funding agency. So there are different sponsoring agencies from India, or we can say from the government of India, and these are broadly classified as Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Environment and Forest, and Ministry of Agriculture. And University Grant Commission is also providing funds to the national, state, as well as private or deemed to be universities. This is the basic structure of how the funds are to be distributed in India at government level. And funding pattern of the government is the projects are classified into 8 major subject areas. First one is agricultural sciences, biological sciences, chemical sciences, earth sciences, engineering and technology, medical sciences, and physical sciences. And there are state universities as well as central universities and organizations which provide funds to the various organizations. First, we will discuss what are the different funding provided by the University Grant Commission. The first scheme that is designed by the University Grant Commission is D.S. Kothari Fellowship Scheme. This particular scheme is for the candidate who have either received a PhD degree or submitted their PhD thesis are eligible to apply. Candidate holding the PhD will be directly awarded the named PDF, and PDF awards are up to from rupees 18,000 to 22,000 per month, with annual increase of rupees 1,000 per month. Along with that, contingency grant of rupees 50,000 per annum. Bridging fellowship stipend is up to rupees 60,000 per month. This duration is initially for 1 year and can be awarded for 3 years based on the performance of the research scholar. Second scheme by University Grant Commission is Emeritus Fellowship Scheme. The eligibility to apply for this scheme is quality of the research and published work contributed by the faculty in his or her service career. Duration of the project is a well-defined time-bound action plan up to the age of 70 years or up to 2 years, that is non-expendable of the award whichever is earlier. Limit of the funding is 20,000 per month from UGC for 2 years, and that is non-extendable, and contingency grant is up to rupees 50,000. Distribution of the grant is on the basis of the annual report along with the payment and receipt of the expenditure, and the certificate of utilization need to be provided to the authority. Expected outcome of this is to provide an opportunity to superannuated teachers to pursue active research in their respective field of specialization. Processing methodology is UGC may send the report or output to the concerned agency for their comment and use if any. So this particular scheme is for superannuated faculty, and the time limit for this particular scheme is at up to the age of 70 years only. Third scheme is Junior Research Fellow or Senior Research Fellow scheme. For Junior Research Fellow, the qualification is ME, MTech, M Pharma with NET or GATE qualified, and qualification percentage is up to 55%. Duration of this particular scheme is 2 years. If found satisfactory, extended up to 3 years. And stipend amount is rupees 14,000 for the initial year. Contingency grant is up to 12,000 per annum for conferences and other expenses. Department assistance is 3,000 per annum, and reader assistance is up to rupees 2,000 per annum. Under SRF scheme, the qualification is same as JRF, and this scheme is up to 5 years and is non-extendable. Amount is rupees 15,000 per month, and contingency grant is up to 25,000 per annum for conferences and other expenses. Department assistance and reader assistance is same as JRF scheme. Next scheme is postdoctorate fellowship for women. This particular scheme is launched by the Government of India for empowerment of the women faculty. This scheme is known as postdoctorate fellowship scheme. The essential qualification is PhD in sciences or engineering, or masters in engineering or technology, MD in medicine, and the at UG level the percentage required is 60%, and at PG level 60%, and at UG level the percentage requirement is up to 55%. The time frame for this particular scheme is 2 years. If found satisfactory, extended up to 3 years. And this particular scheme is for the unemployed woman holding PhD less than the age of 55 years. Stipend under this scheme is rupees 25,000 per month initially for 2 years, and after 2 years the stipend is increased up to rupees 30,000. Contingency grant is rupees 50,000 per annum for conferences and other expenses. Department assistance is 10% of postdoctorate fellowship, and reader assistance is up to 2,000 per annum. Another schemes are Maulana Azad National Fellowship for minority students, postdoctorate fellowship scheme for the women that we already discussed, postgraduate merit scholarship scheme for university rank holders at undergraduate level, research fellowship in science for meritorious students, Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship Scheme, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan Fellowship in Humanities and Social Sciences, and postgraduate Indira Gandhi Scholarship Scheme for single girl child. These are some of the schemes that are sponsored by University Grant Commission. Now, next funding agency is All India Council for Technical Education, that is AICTE. The first scheme launched by the government this year is Unnat Bharat Abhiyan scheme. The eligibility of the institution is the institution must be AICTE approved institution, university, government or government aided institution. Eligibility of the coordinator is full-time regular faculty. Duration of the project is up to 2 years, and limit of the fund is up to 5 lakhs only. The grant under this particular scheme is distributed as 90% of the grant is given to the institution in the initiation of the project, and 10% will be released on the receipt of utilization certificate, statement of expenditure, completion and progress report, and attested photocopies of the supporting vouchers. Relevant documents required under this scheme is annual report along with the payment and receipt or utilization certificate under this particular scheme. Expected outcome of this scheme is build institutional capacity in institution of higher education, in research and training relevant to national needs, especially those of rural India. Processing methodology is evaluation under this scheme is conducted by 3-member expert committee not below the rank of associate professor. Second scheme is AICTE adjunct faculty scheme. Again, the eligibility is AICTE approved institution, university, government or government aided institution. Eligibility is the faculty must be from the industry having 10 to 15 years of experience in his or her field of specialization, and the AICTE adjacent faculty shall be less than 70 years of the age. Duration of the project is up to 1 semester only. The total funding under this scheme is rupees 6 lakh at the rate of rupees 1 lakh per month, as salary included all the expenses for each cases. Distribution of the grant is within the semester, and processing methodology is evaluation by 3-member expert committee not below the rank of associate professor. Third scheme is for writing and translating technical books in regional languages. Eligibility of the institution, the faculty from AICTE approved institutions, degree, diploma, pharmacy, management and architecture. Eligibility of the coordinator is author or translator must be full-time regular faculty with minimum experience of 5 years in teaching and or research, and only one author per institution per year would be considered for this particular research scheme. Duration of this particular project is up to the year of 1, and limiting of the funding is limited up to the amount of rupees 50,000, and not more than 50 books can be selected within that particular financial year. The distribution of this particular grant is, the fund is released after the recommendation and evaluation that is conducted by the team by the competent authority, and processing methodology of that particular scheme is application received with 3 copies of the book shall be evaluated by the expert committee of 3 members, and the rank of that particular evaluation committee team, they must be on the rank of associate professor. Not less than that rank must be considered for that particular evaluation. Fourth scheme of AICTE is faculty development program scheme. The eligibility of the institution is AICTE approved institution, universities, department, and professional societies and bodies. The requirement is the coordinator who applying under this scheme must be the full-time regular faculty of that institution. Duration of the project is for the FDP organized for 2 weeks, and FDP shall be conducted within 6 months from the date of receipt of the offer letter. Limiting of the fund is up to rupees 7 lakh, and the essential requirement is minimum 50 participants need to be attend that faculty development program, that is for 2 weeks, and 7,000 per participant per week is given to the host institution. The amount is distributed as 90% of the amount as advance to the government or government aided institution, and 10% after the submission of utilization certificates and all required documents. 50% of the amount is given as advance to the self-financing institution, and 50% after the submission of all the relevant documents related to the expenditure of that particular FDP. Expected outcome is this particular scheme is initiated to enhance the quality of the faculty or the teacher, facilitate the career progression and faculty development in various areas. Processing methodology is 3 members expert committee not below the rank of the associate professor, and at least 1 member among the experts shall be from the concerned stream for which you are organizing faculty development program. Particular subject अपना choose कर सकता है host institution. Next is hostels for SC/ST students. The purpose of this scheme is to provide the facility to ST/ST students undergoing professional education to enhance the enrollment of the students as well as improving the quality of the technical education system. Eligibility of the institution is government or government aided engineering colleges, university department, but the condition is the institution must be in existence for the last 5 years. And the private institution must have more than 150 SC/ST student on roll during last 3 years before applying to that particular scheme. Duration of the project is the proposed or approved hostel for SC/ST will be constructed within 2 years from the date of receipt of the final installment. Limit of the funding is up to rupees 2 crores. Distribution of the grant is 50% of the amount as advance on section being first installment, and 50% Second installment will be 40% of the amount after the sport inspection carried out by the evaluation committee that comprises of 2 engineers, one from civil engineering branch, one from architect branch, from AICT approved panel to be organized by the concerned relational officer of AICTE. Distribution of 10% of the amount on submitting completion certificate by the registered civil engineer, architect, PWD, and submission of all mandatory document. Relevant document required under this scheme is annual progress report along with the relevant document need to be submitted to the AICT as and when required. Sixth scheme that is launched by AICT this year, that is Share and Mentor Institution. This scheme is known as Margdarshan. The eligibility of the institution under this scheme is the mentor institution, university, department must be government or government aided, self-financed institution, AICTE approved institution or university department should have been before established 15 years. The mentor institution should be conducted graduate courses of which at least 50% of the courses should be NBA accredited. The mentor institution should be conducted postgraduate courses of at least 50% of the courses should be NBA accredited. Duration of the project is up to 3 years and limit of the fund is up to 50 lakh under this scheme. 100% of the non-recurring and recurring for 1 year for the first year, recurring for 1 year for the second year and for 1 year for the third year. Relevant document required is MOU must be signed with 10 institutions with the host or we can say mentor institution, or at least 10 faculty development program must be conducted at institution level, ensuring not less than 25% of the expert or guest lecture. Expected outcome is the institution of repute as a mentor within an existing facility to serve as a hub to guide and disperse knowledge to 10 technical institutions to encourage best practices. Processing methodology under this scheme is evaluation by 3-member expert committee, not below the rank of associate professor. At least 2 members among the experts shall be from the concerned stream. Next very famous scheme by AICT is modernization and removal of obsolescence. This scheme is also known as MODROP scheme. Eligibility of the institution is AICT approved technical institution, university, department with at least 10 years of existence. For self-financing institution, maximum 3 proposals per institution per year, including sanctioned earlier but not completed, would be considered. For government or government aided institution, maximum 10 proposals per institution per year, including sanctioned earlier but not completed, would be considered. Eligibility of the coordinator under this program is full-time regular faculty. Duration of the project is up to 2 years. Limit of the funding is up to 20 lakh. 100% of the grant sanctioned amount will be released to the government and government aided institution. In case of private institution, 80% of the sanction amount is given as advance and 20% is given on the submission of utilization certificate by the private institution. Relevant document required is project completion report along with the payment and receipt or utilization certificate. Expected outcome is modernization of the existing laboratory facility of AICT approved institution. Processing methodology under this scheme is evaluation by 3-member expert committee, not below the rank of associate professor, and at least 2 members among the experts shall be from the concerned institution. Next is grant for organizing conferences at institution level. Eligibility of the institution is AICTE approved institution, universities, department with relevant PG program, and preferably from NBA accredited programs only. Maximum one proposal per institution per year would be considered. Eligibility of the coordinator is the coordinator must be a full-time regular faculty with adequate experience in teaching and research with publications. Duration of the project is the conference must be conducted within 6 months from the date of receipt of confirmation or offer letter from AICTE. Limit of the fund is up to 15 lakh, out of which 5 lakh will be met for registration fee, sponsor contribution, and other 5 lakh to be contributed by the institution. The remaining 5 lakh shall be grant from AICTE. Distribution of the grant is 50% amount as advance and 50% after the submission of the utilization certificate. Relevant document required, report of that particular conference along with the utilization certificate regarding the expenditure on that conference. Expected outcome under this scheme is provide financial assistance to institution for organizing conference at national and international level in various fields of technical education. Processing methodology is 3 members expert committee not below the rank of associate professor, and at least 2 members among the experts shall be from the concerned specialization on stream for which we are organizing that particular conference. Scheme number 9 of AICTE is Research Promotion Scheme, that is also known as RPS. Eligibility of the institution is AICTE approved institution, university department with the relevant PG programs. The coordinating faculty must be full-time regular faculty, and duration of the project is up to 3 years from the date of receipt of the funds in the institution account. Limit of the funding is 20 lakh rupees, and distribution of the grant is full amount of total sanctioned non-occurring grant and 90% of the total sanctioned. Relevant document required is annual report along with the utilization certificate of expenditure. Expected outcome is to create and update general research capabilities, and processing methodology is 3-member expert committee not below the rank of associate professor, and at least 2 members among the experts shall be from the concerned stream. Next is seminar grant scheme. The eligibility of the institution is AICTE approved institution, university department preferably NBA accredited. Maximum 2 proposal per institution per year including sanctioned but not completed would be considered. Eligibility of the coordinator must be a full-time regular faculty with an adequate experience in teaching as well as research publication in the reputed journals. Duration of the project is the proposed or approved seminar shall be conducted within the 6 months from the date of receipt of the offer letter, and duration of the seminar must be 1 to 3 days. Limit of the fund, rupees 1 lakh for national seminar and rupees 3 lakh for international seminar. Distribution of the grant is reimbursement in advance and 50% of the reimbursement after the submission of the utilization certificate. Relevant document required is the seminar or the conference report along with the payment and receipt of utilization certificate. Expected outcome under this scheme is, this particular scheme is promoted the networking among academicians and is a platform for sharing innovative and creative ideas among the researchers. Processing methodology is 3 experts not below the rank of associate professor, and at least 1 member among the experts shall be from the concerned stream. Next scheme is again for SC/ST students, Skill and Personality Development Program Center for SC/ST student. Eligibility of the institution is AICTE approved institution, university, department must be in existence for at least 5 years. The institution or the university department should ample built up accommodation with proper infrastructure of its own to start that center, and the institution must have more than 150 SC/ST student enrolled during the last 3 years. Eligibility of the coordinator, as such, no prescribed conditions and criteria as far as the eligibility of the coordinator. We was discussing the scheme number 11 by AICT, that is Skill and Personality Development Program Center for SC/ST student. The expected outcome of this particular scheme is to empower the SC and ST student by providing special skills and training in their field of specialization. Next scheme, that is for faculty, known as Travel Grant Faculty Scheme. Eligibility of the institution who are applying under this scheme must be AICT approved institution or university department. The applicant host department should be NBA accredited. Eligibility of the coordinator, full-time regular faculty for presenting paper in conferences, attending workshops abroad, to be sanctioned once in a 2 years to the applicant. Duration of the project is 3 years from the date of receipt of the funds in institution account, and limit of the funding is up to 1.5 lakh. Distribution of the grant, reimbursement of the grant is up to 100% of the amount, and relevant document required is travel document, conference report along with the payment and receipt account as applicable. Expected outcome is interaction of the faculty at international level, and processing methodology is 3-member expert committee not below the rank of associate professor, and at least 2 members along the expert shall be from the concerned specialization. Other schemes that are promoted by AICT this year: nationally coordinated projects, national facilities in engineering and technology with industrial collaboration, entrepreneurship development cell for MBA students and faculty, industry institution partnership cell, emeritus fellowship scheme for the senior faculty member, career advance for young teacher for the age below 35 years, visiting professorship scheme again for the senior research faculty, innovation promotion scheme that is in collaboration with the industry at institution level. Next is research park scheme and national doctorate fellowship scheme. These are few of the schemes that are promoted by AICT. For example, under entrepreneurship development cell scheme, the eligibility of the institution is AICT approved institution, university of the departments. Eligibility of the coordinator is full-time regular faculty. The duration of the project is up to 2 years. Limit of the fund is up to 5 lakhs. And relevant document required under this scheme is the annual report along with the payment and receipt or utilization certificates. Expected outcome is establishment of the entrepreneur development cell, and develop entrepreneur and cell shall be self-sustaining after 2 years of establishment. Processing methodologies evaluation by 3 members expert committee. Under Industry Institute Partnership Cell scheme, the duration of the project is up to 2 years. Limit of the fund is up to 15 lakh, and eligibility of the coordinator is full-time regular faculty. The disbursement of the grant is conducted initially in advance, and after that 2 different installments the fund is provided to the host institution. Annual report along with the utilization certificates are required, and expected outcome is to establishment of the industry institution partnership cell and good interaction with industry expert, and should be self-sustained after 2 years. Processing methodology evaluation by 3-member expert committee not below the rank of associate professor. Under emeritus fellowship scheme, the age limit for under this scheme is up to the age of 70. The duration of the project is up to 2 years and limit of the fund is 6.5 lakhs per year. First installment on the completion of the year 1 on the submission of different documents, and second installment is on the completion of the year 2 on the submission of the document. The different documents required for getting installment under this scheme is number of the expert lectures that are organized at institution level, or any kind of research facility or help to the research scholar that is provided by the emeritus faculty in the institution. Eligibility of the applicant is superannuated professors and scientists, preferably from IIT, NIT, IIM, IISc, CSIR labs, defense establishment, BARC, Info Fellows and INA Fellows. And expected outcome is add value and quality to the teaching learning process. Evaluation is again by the 3-member expert committee. Career award for the young teacher. The eligibility of the institution is AICTE approved institution, university or department. Eligibility of the coordinator is full-time regular faculty within 35 years of the age. Duration of the project is up to 3 years. Limit of the fund is 3 lakh per year. Relevant document required is the annual report or after the completion of the project with the payment and receipt of the utilization certificate. Expected outcome under this scheme is professional growth and incentive for innovation in teaching and research. Evaluation is again conducted by 3-member expert committee, not below the rank of associate professor. Visiting professorship scheme. AICTE government and government aided institutions only. Eligibility of the applicant is again superannuated professor from higher institutions of learning. Duration of the project is up to 2 years. Limit of the fund is up to 6.5 lakh. Annual report along with the utilization certificate of all the expenditure made under this scheme is required. And expected outcome of this scheme is supplementing and providing expertise to the faculty in which the host institution may not have the required expertise. And evaluation is conducted by 3-member expert committee, not below the rank of associate professor. National Doctorate Fellowship Scheme. This scheme is only for the Institution of the Excellence and Center Government Research Laboratories. The eligibility of the institution is enrolled in one of the above institution with GATE, GPAT and CAT score, minimum 95 percentile and age below 35 years. Duration of the project is up to 3 years and 18,000 per month stipend is given to the fellows. Relevant document required is annual report along with the utilization certificate. Expected outcome is if this scheme is basically launched to enhance the number of the PhD faculty with the quality work, and evaluation is conducted by 3-member expert committee. Research Park Scheme is for AICTE approved institution, AICTE approved university and department, but the condition is those institutions must be NBA accredited. The head of the institution can enroll under this particular scheme and duration of the project is up to 3 years. Limit of the fund is rupees 100 lakh by AICTE and 100 lakh by the participating industry. Relevant document required is annual report along with payment and utilization certificate. Expected outcome is to create and promote research capabilities and enhance the number of the PhD with quality work. Evaluation by 3-member expert committee and subsequently yearly evaluation is to be conducted for the various fellows who are enrolled under Research Park scheme. Next is Innovation Promotion Scheme. This particular scheme is for the AICTE approved institutions, universities and department. Under this scheme, the eligibility of the coordinator is full-time regular faculty. Duration of the project is not applicable. Limit of the fund is up to 5 lakh. And relevant document required is completion report along with the payment or receipt utilization certificate. Expected outcome is to create and update general research capabilities, and evaluation is conducted by 3-member expert committee that is designated by AICTE. Next scheme is summer winter school scheme. This is for AICTE approved government and government aided institution. Quality improvement polytechnic centers, IITs, IISc, NIT. The requirement is full-time regular faculty. Duration of the project is up to 2 weeks. Maximum rupees 7 lakh is provided to the host institution, or in some cases, whatever will be the actual expense, whichever is the less is given to the host institution. 50% amount is given in advance and 50% amount is given after the submission of the relevant document. Relevant document required is the report of the summer winter school fellowship along with the payment and receipt of the utilization certificate. Expected outcome is to enhance the quality of the teacher, facilitate career progression and faculty development under this scheme. Processing methodology is evaluation by 3-member expert committee, and those members must be designated by AICTE. Next schemes are under CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. There are 4 different schemes. First one is a research scheme. Research scheme is basically to promote the research work in the field of agriculture, engineering, as well as medicine. Multidisciplinary project which involve inter-organizational cooperation, and preferences is given to the scheme which have relevance to the research programs of CSIR laboratories. Sponsored scheme. Throughout the year, the director of different CSIR laboratory may invite application for the research grant in specific area of interest to their respective laboratory. This particular scheme help the institution or organization to interact with CSIR laboratory, and CSIR laboratory take the help of the faculty to undertake part of the work of its core program, for which it either does not have time or expertise. Next scheme is Emeritus Scientist Scheme, to provide support to the superannuated outstanding scientist to pursue research in their respective field of specialization and having relevance to the program of the CSIR. Research Fellowship and Associateship Scheme. There are few schemes under this associateship. First one is Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Fellowship Scheme, Senior Research Associateship Scheme, Recognition of the Excellence, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, and CSIR Young Scientist Award Scheme. Next scheme is Junior Research Fellowship Scheme. This scheme is for BE, BTech, B Pharma, or for MBBS, integrated BSMS, MSc or equivalent degree, integrated MS PhD with proven track record of the research publication. After qualifying NET conducted by CSIR twice a year. The marks percentage for general category is up to 55%. For OBC, ST, STN, physically handicapped or visually handicapped candidate, the qualification required is mentioned, but the percentage of marks is up to 50%. Age limit for general category is 28 years and relaxation of 5 years for other category students. Stipend is up to 25,000 for the first 2 years and 28,000 for the third and subsequent year. In case the committee is not recommending upgradation of 25,000 for third and subsequent year. Initially, the duration of the project is up to 3 years only. Next scheme is JRF Extended Scheme. Expected that JRF will have to publish work to their credit by the end of the third year. Only then he or she can apply for JRF extended scheme. Work is found unsatisfactory or the fellow did not register the PhD up to 3 years, then fellowship will be terminated. Extension of the tenure for the 4th year of SRF will be on the basis of the progress report and recommendation of the supervisor of the project. Extension of the tenure for the 5th year as SRF is permissible on the recommendation of the 3-member expert committee, and those experts are designated by the CSIR laboratory under which the research work is carried out by the research fellow. Next is SRF scheme. The qualification required for senior research fellowship scheme is MSc, BE, BTech or equivalent degree, 1 SCI journal publication, plus 2 years of experience after the completion of the education. Minimum marks required is 55, at least 55%. For the candidate, MTech, ME or equivalent degree in engineering and technology, the marks required is 60%. BE, BTech or equivalent plus 2 years of experience, at least 60% of the marks is required. For the medical students, MBBS, MD plus 1 year of internship, at least 60% of the marks required. For the students of B Pharma, BBSc, BSc Agriculture or equivalent degree plus 1 SCI publication plus completed 3 years of the experience. The marks required is at least 55%. The age limit under this scheme is 32 years for the general category, and relaxation is up to 5 years for SC, ST, OBC and physically handicapped student. Stipend given under this amount is 28,000 per month for the entire tenure of fellowship, and contingency grant is up to 25,000 per annum in a year. The duration of the project is, initially the project is for 5 years and extended for another 5 years for the second term. So maximum 10 years of the period or up to the age of 68 years, whichever is applicable. Earlier, there was a scheme that is known as SRF extended, but this scheme was continued from 1st April 2016. Another scheme by CSIR is JC Bose Fellowship Scheme. The qualification required under this scheme is PhD in Sciences, Engineering, as well as Medical with proven track record of research publication. Age limit under this scheme is up to the age of 68 years. Stipend is up to 25,000 in addition to the regular income, and contingency of 10 lakh per annum for conferences and other expenses. Initially, the duration of the project is up to 5 years that can be extended further up to 5 years. So the total time period is up to 10 years or up to the 68 year of the age, whichever is applicable. Next scheme is Ramanujan Fellowship Scheme. The qualification required is PhD in Sciences, Engineering or Masters in Engineering or MD in Medicine. Age limit is up to 55 years. Stipend given is 85,000 per month in addition to the regular income. They can receive a research grant of rupees 7 lakh per annum for conferences and other expenses. And duration of this scheme is up to 5 years and is non-extendable. Senior Research Associateship Scheme, PhD in Sciences or Engineering subject, MD, MS, MDS in Medical Sciences plus 3 years of research experience, or the candidate who have submitted their PhD thesis. Upper age limit under this scheme is up to the age of 40 years, and 5-year relaxation is given to SC, ST, OBC and physically handicapped students. Stipend given for PhD or engineering subject student is 21,000 or 25,810 per month depending upon the qualification, experience, research publication and performance in the interview. But minimum amount of 21,000 must be given to the research scholar. Duration of this scheme is initially up to 1 year and maximum up to 3 years based on the assessment that is conducted by the supervisor for that particular scheme, and after 3 years the scheme is non-extendable. Emeritus Scientist Scheme. The scientist research during the preceding 5 years of superannuation will be eligible. The age limit is up to 55 years and stipend given is 20,000 per month honorarium for duration of his or her tenure and suitable contingency grant per annum. Along with that, technical assistance in the form of research fellow associate is also given. Next scheme is Visiting Associateship Scheme. Scientists from universities, research and development laboratories. Tenure of this scheme is up to 3 years. Age limit is up to 45 years and stipend given is TADA for 2 visits in CSIR laboratory and maximum of 60 days in a year. Next is Travel Grant for Research Scholar. This scheme is again discontinued in the financial year 2015 and 16. Next is Shanti Savrup Bhatnagar scheme. This scheme is applicable if the research scholar is having recognizable work in the field of science and technology, any Indian citizen with the age of 45 years, and overseas citizen can also apply under this scheme, but the condition is he must be from Indian origin working outside the country. The stipend or the grant given under this scheme is rupees 5 lakh only, that is awarded annually to the research fellow. Next scheme under CSIR is GN Ramachandran Gold Medal for Excellence in Biological Sciences and Technology. This particular scheme is for biotechnology. Qualification required is recognizable work in the field of biological sciences and technology. Any Indian citizen up to the age of 45 years can apply, and any overseas citizen who is originally from India can apply under this particular scheme. Stipend and grant is depending upon the advisory committee that is constituted by Director General CSIR with maximum 7 experts. Next scheme is CSIR Shama Prasad Mukherjee Fellowship Scheme. The toppers of CSIR UGC, JRF NET awardees can apply under this scheme. Initially, the scheme is for 2 years that can be extended up to the maximum up to 5 years. Age limit is the condition to apply under this scheme is the pursuing PhD program in CSIR laboratories and other specialized research and developed universities or institution. The stipend given under this scheme is 20,000 per month plus HRA during the first 2 years. Rupees 70,000 per month during the first 2 years of the fellowship and can be raised up to 24,000. CSIR Young Scientist Award. The age limit is not more than 35 years and any scientist and researcher working in academic institution, R&D laboratory as an regular employee. The maximum stipend given is rupees 25 lakh over a period of 5 years, which is normally to the tune of rupees 5 lakh per annum per CSIR Young Scientist. Next scheme is Nehru Science Postdoctorate Fellowship Scheme. PhD degree holder within 3 years of the award of the PhD degree or those who have submitted their PhD thesis. Maximum age limit is up to 32 years and relaxation of 5 years in case of SC, ST, OBC, physically handicapped and women candidate. Stipend given is rupees 50,000 per month plus house rent allowance as admissible and contingency grant of 3 lakh per annum. 25% of the contingency grant can be used for domestic and international travel including per diem expenses. The tenure of this scheme is 2 years and extendable for maximum 1 year based on outstanding performance and recommendation from the director of CSIR laboratory where working. Another schemes that is launched by CSIR this year is Indian Language Journal. Condition is only journals brought out in Indian language with the sole objective of popularizing science. Processing methodologies, evaluation by different referees. You can apply anytime during the year, and the amount given under this scheme is normally between rupees 10,000 and 1 lakh per annum. And this scheme is year-to-year basis. As we have earlier discussed, schemes under UGC, AICT, CSIR. Now we will discuss the schemes that are by Defense Research and Development Organization. There are different schemes that is organized by DRDO authorities. First scheme is Aeronautic Research and Development Board. The objective under this scheme is to develop the facilities in IITs, universities, high technical institutions, colleges, and other research centers, including industry in the country. Stipend given is, grant is up to rupees 5 crores per year. The research must be conducted in the selected area like computational fluid dynamics, system design and engineering, and composite structure technology. Second scheme by DRDO is Armament Research Board. The grants are offered to the research organizations, universities, departments, laboratories, industries for research in basic sciences and engineering. Setting up the promotion, the objective of this scheme is to setting up of the basic facilities, infrastructure, organizing seminars, symposia, and workshop, etc. Stipend given as per the project guidelines, and selected areas are ballistic and aerodynamic materials, metallurgy, mechanical and electronic engineering, optoelectronic and computer technique, explosive and pyrotechnic, modeling, simulation, and system analysis. Next scheme is Life Sciences Research Board. Grants are offered to IITs, universities, colleges, department, laboratory approved research institution, eminent scientists working in reputed industries, non-profit organization with well-established research and development facilities, government and non-government sectors. Stipend given as per DST guidelines, and selected area is promoting research and development program in life sciences and allied fields. Next is Naval Research Board, that nurture research talent and to create research facilities in IITs, universities, high technical institutions, colleges, and other research centers, including industries in the country, for promoting basic research, design, and development. Stipend given as per the project guidelines, and funding based on the evaluation and recommendation of specialist panel in various disciplines, composite materials, health material, hydrodynamic, including propulsion, sonar and signal behavior, ocean environment, and scientific computing. Next schemes that are promoted by Department of Atomic Energy. First scheme is R&D project. This scheme is for the faculty member of the universities and other similar educational and research institution. The areas supported by this scheme are basic sciences, that is physics and chemistry, life and medical sciences, engineering sciences, material sciences, electronics and instrumentation, isotope application in industry, food and agriculture sciences, radiation and environmental sciences. The facilities provided under this scheme to the faculty is equipment, consumable expenditure on consumable material, travel and other contingency. In addition, staff salaries are also provided who are helping under this particular project. Next is this Department of Atomic Energy also sponsors symposium, conferences, and workshops. Who can submit a proposal? The chairman or convener of the organizing committee of symposium. The objective of this scheme is to promote a large-scale interaction in various disciplines of science and technology that are of the interest of Department of Atomic energy. And component of the grant include expenditure on printing of the circular, invitation card, banner, registration bag, and payment of traveling allowance, support to the delegate and invited speakers. Next scheme is Raja Ramana Fellowship Scheme. The qualification required is BE BTech with 60% of the marks. Age limit is up to 26 years of age up to 1st September. Relaxation of 5 years to SC/ST candidates and 3 years for OBC candidate. The condition is the candidate must be medically fit by BARC hospital. Stipend given is rupees 20,000 per month with other allowance for 2 years, and contingency grant is up to 50,000. This scheme is basically for the students who want to pursue ME and MTech in higher institutions. Next scheme is Dr. K.S. Krishnan Research Associate Scheme. The qualification required is PhD in engineering or ME MTech with 2 years of experience in research and development. The condition to enroll under this scheme is the candidate must be of Indian origin and not less than the age of 32 years as on 1st January. Relaxation of 5 years for SC/ST candidate and relaxation of 3 years for OBC candidate. Stipend given is rupees 18,000 per month and additional 10,000 per year for other expenses. Next is DAE Young Scientist Research Award. This scheme is for the scientists, engineers working in universities, academic institution of higher learning having a regular position at institution level. The age bar is below the age of 35 years and maximum stipend given is up to the cost of rupees 10 lakh per project. Next is Homi Bhabha Chair Professorship Scheme. The candidates who are seeking admission on their own at the under the relevant MTech program with required pre-MTech degree discipline, that is BE, BTech or MSc. The condition is Indian origin candidate with age not more than 26 years as on 1st September of the year of admission to MTech, relaxation in the age of 5 years for SC/ST candidate and 3 years for the OBC applicant is admissible. Stipend given is rupees 11,000 per month and one-time educational allowance that is up to rupees 5,000. Next is DAE Graduate Fellowship Admission in MTech at IIT, NITs. Qualification is BE BTech with 60% of the marks. Age limit is 26 years of age up to 1st September. Relaxation of 5 years for SC/ST candidate, 3 years for OBC candidate and must be medically fit by BARC hospital. Stipend given is rupees 20,000 per month with other allowance for 2 years. After the successful completion of the master's program, the candidates can join 4 months of the orientation course at BARC Training Institution and directly absorbed as Scientist C in DAE unit with a scale of 15,600 plus 3,900 or grade pay of 5,400 with increment depending upon the performance in the MTech. And total emolument inclusive of 4 increment and all the allowances would be around 65,570 rupees if posted in A-class city. So Department of Atomic Energy provided different schemes for the students to pursue degree in higher learning institutions. Next is DAE SRC Award. The objective of this scheme is to support to individual research worker with highly innovative ideas and with proven ability to pursue advanced research. This scheme is again for the students as well as for the scientists and researchers. The qualification required is BE BTech with 60% of the marks. Age limit is the scientist researcher working in DAE or outside DAE units and working in public funded institutions. The grant or stipend given under this scheme is rupees 1 crore per project for 5 years. Next scheme is Visiting Scientist Scheme. The objective of this scheme is to promote close interaction on specialized scientific and technical topics between the scientist and technologist from DAE and universities, IITs, IISc, and National Laboratory. This particular scheme is again providing a platform for the various researchers, faculties, as well as scientists to promote research and development at their institution level. Stipend given is for 1 month and more rupees 16,000 to rupees 20,000 per month. Senior visiting scientists, engineers, professors up to rupees 10,500 to 15,000 per month. Visiting scientists and engineers for less than a month, 1/4 of monthly rate per week of rupees 800 to rupees 800 to 1,000 per day, and rupees 4,000 to 5,000 subject to maximum weekly rate. The stipend for the senior visiting scientist, engineers, and professor is rupees 2,500 to rupees 3,750 per week. Next schemes are under Department of Biotechnology, that is known as DBT. The first scheme under this organization is Tata Innovation Fellowship Scheme. The age limit under this scheme is up to 55 years, and the required qualification is PhD in Life Sciences, Agriculture, Veterinary Sciences, or Master Degree in Medical Sciences and Engineering, or any equivalent degree in biotechnology area. Stipend given is rupees 25,000 per month in addition to regular income plus 6 lakh per annum contingency amount. Next scheme under Department of Biotechnology is Ramalingya Swamy Re-Entry Fellowship Scheme. The qualification required is PhD degree or equivalent in Life Sciences, Agriculture, Bioinformatics, or MTech in Engineering and Technology, Medicines, etc., and have adequate professional experience. Stipend given is rupees 85,000 per month with the contingency grant of 10 lakh for the first year and rupees 7.5 lakh for second year and 5 lakhs for the subsequent third year. Third scheme is Energy Biosciences Overseas Fellowship Scheme. The essential qualification required is PhD in relevant areas and or an outstanding track record reflected in publication and other recognition. The candidate of Indian origin working overseas are also eligible to apply under this scheme. Initially, the scheme is up to 1 year that can be extended up to 3 years. The fellowship given under this scheme is 85,000 per month plus house rent allowance of 7,500 per month and contingency grant of rupees 10 lakh for first year, 7.5 lakh for second year, and 5 lakhs for the subsequent year. Next is Energy Biosciences Overseas Chaired. Essential qualification is PhD with 15 to 20 years of research experience, out of which 15 years should be in energy biosciences related areas. Scientists in the age group of 50 to 65 years are eligible to apply under this scheme. Initially, the scheme is for 1 year that can be extended up to 3 years. Total emolument given under this scheme is rupees 1,15,338 rupees and contingencies up to 10 lakh per year. Next schemes are under Department of Science and Technology, that is known as DST. Under DST, the first scheme is Junior Research Fellowship Scheme. The essential qualification required under this scheme is PG in Basic Sciences with NET or graduate degree in professional courses with NET and PG degree in professional course. The stipend given under this scheme is rupees 25,000 plus house rent allowance, which is admissible. Contingency grant is up to 50,000 per annum. Senior Research Fellowship Scheme, the qualification as mentioned in JRF with 2 years of experience and stipend given, the amount increased up to rupees 28,000. Next is Postdoctorate Fellowship Scheme. The qualification is PhD degree with at least 3 years of experience in sciences, medicine, engineering, social sciences with good academic record, and the scholar must be capable of doing independent research work. The stipend given under this scheme is rupees 80,000 with the contingency grant of 2 lakh per annum. Next scheme of Department of Science and Technology is J.C. Bose National Fellowship Scheme. The qualification required is PhD in Sciences, Engineering, Medical with proven track record of research publication. The age limit under this scheme is up to the age of 68 years, and the stipend given is rupees 25,000 in addition to the regular income, and research grant of 15 lakh per annum and overhead charges of 1 lakh per annum to the host institution. Duration is initially for the 5 years for first term, that can be further extended for the 5 years in second term. So in respect, the fellowship is given for maximum of 10 years or up to the age of 68 years, whichever is applicable. Next scheme is Ramanujan Fellowship Scheme. Qualification required is PhD in Sciences, Engineering, Masters in Engineering or Technology, and MD in Medicine. Age limit under this scheme is up to the age of 55 years. Stipend given is rupees 85,000 per month in addition to the regular income, and research grant of 7 lakh per annum for conferences and another expenses. The duration of Ramanujan Fellowship Scheme is for 5 years only and it's non-extendable. Next scheme is National Postdoctorate Fellowship Scheme. The essential qualification required under this scheme is PhD, MD or MS. Age limit for general category is up to 35 years and relaxation of 5 years for SC, ST, OBC and physically handicapped students or women candidate. Stipend given is rupees 55,000 per month consolidated, rupees 35,000 per month for those who have submitted the thesis but the degree is not yet awarded. The research grant of 2 lakh per annum and overhead expenses of rupees 1 lakh per annum is given. Initially, the scheme is for 2 years. In exceptional cases, it can be extended for further 1 year. But the scheme is not extendable beyond 3 years. Next scheme is Early Career Research Award Scheme. The qualification required under this scheme is PhD, MD or MS. Age limit 35 years for general category and 5-year relaxation for SC, ST, OBC, physically handicapped and women candidate. Grant up to rupees 50 lakh including overhead charges. And duration is, this is only the one-time award for the young researcher. Next is SCRB Overseas Postdoctorate Fellowship Scheme. This is essential requirement is qualification in PhD in Sciences or Engineering, and purpose is to providing postdoctorate fellowship. Duration of the scheme is 1 year, extendable to 1 more year. SCRB Women Excellence Award, women scientist below 40 years of age. Research grant is up to 5 lakh per annum and this is only for one-time grant. SCRB Distinguished Fellowship, this is for superannuated scientists who are still active in the research. The purpose is to facilitate for non-replaceable treasure and research grant is up to 5 lakh and a fellowship amount of 60,000 per month. Initially for 3 years and extendable for another 2 years. So the total duration of this particular scheme is only up to 5 years. Next is DST also sponsored the project of drugs and pharmaceutical research, and these are the collaborative research and development project along with the industry. Any Indian company and firm that is engaged in drug development manufacturing can join hand with the national laboratory under CSIR, ICMR, or university department or other academic institution and institution of higher learning such as IIT, IASC can collaborate with each other to cooperate in this particular research area. The major objective of this particular scheme is to create and enabling infrastructure, mechanism and linkages to facilitate the new drug development in India. Next is Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, that is known as DSIR. There are different schemes. The name of the scheme is Technology Promotion, Development and Utilization Programs and its component. The basic objective under this scheme is the Technology Transfer Program, Consultancy Promotion Program, the Facilitation Program that are at institution level. And the objective of this particular organization is to build infrastructure and provide the facilities to the institution in collaboration with the different laboratories in India to promote and support the industrial effort regarding research and development activity. Next is political based, that is in strategic based funding agency, that is India Meteorological Department known as IMD. The IMD funded the research project that are related to field of meteorology and atmospheric sciences with particular reference to the Indian region received from the scientist working in universities, institution and government organization for their funding under its grant in aid program. Next is the research schemes provided by ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, Department of Space. First scheme is Junior Research Fellowship Scheme. The qualification required under this scheme is postgraduate in basic sciences or graduate degree in professional courses. Stipend is up to the amount of 25,000 for first and second year and 28,000 for the subsequent year. Research Associate Level 1, 2 and 3. Essential requirements are PhD, MD, MS, MDS or equivalent, plus 3 years of experience in the research, or qualification of ME, MTech, M.Pharma and Masters in Veterinary Sciences. The stipend given for Research Associate 1, 2 and 3 is 22,000, 23,000 and 24,000 respectively. Next is ISRO sponsored research program, that is known as RESPOND. The stipend given under this scheme is as per the project guidelines, and qualification required is to conduct research and development in the field of space sciences, application and technology for universities and institutions, and establish the interaction between scientists working at ISRO and academic institutions. Next is Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. The various schemes that are funded by this particular organization is the projects that are related to bioinformatics, project related to nanotechnology, microelectronics, industrial and electronic application development division projects, photonic development division project, semiconductor ICs layout design registry project, strategic electronic division project, medical electronic and telemedicine division project, high performance computing project, innovation and IPR project, CCBT project, and free and open source software related project. Next is political based funding agencies, that is Ministry of Environment and Forest. Name of the various schemes that are revised by the government again and again depending upon the requirements. First scheme is Environmental Research Program, Ecosystem Research Schemes, Eastern and Western Ghat Research Program, Biosphere Reserves, Mangroves and Coral Reefs, projects related to wetlands, National Natural Resources Management System like Ganga Action Plan, National River Conservation Program, research and consultancy project in wildlife. Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Resources. The major objective of this organization is to encourage public as well as private industrial sector for research and development on cost sharing basis related to different energy resources. The program of the ministry are implemented mainly through State Energy Development Agency and State Electricity Board. The greatest thrust has been given to the research and development through active involvement of research institutions, universities, industries, and non-government institutions. Next is Ministry of Power, Central Power Research Institution. This scheme basically provides fund for carrying out need-based research project in power sector, including solving of the power system operational problem throughout the country. Ministry of Water Resources. The major objective of this ministry is to provide practical solution to the country water resources related problem, to improve available technology and engineering methods and procedures related to water handling, storage, to maintain a lead in the latest technology so as to enable export of expertise from India, to prepare and maintain comprehensive documentation, preferably using IT, of R&D at national as well as at international level, to prepare, coordinate, and recommend funding of the research program to be taken up by the institution in the country on basic and applied research, action research, and other areas that are related to water resources only. So these are some of the funding agencies that are science-based, strategic-based, and political-based funding agencies. There are a lot of information available on the websites of UGC, AICT, CSIR laboratory throughout the year. Conduct n number of the project for which they call for the research scholars to be a part of those particular research project, and ministry according to the need of their thrust area, they can also call upon the project that can be taken at institution or organizational level. So this is a basic information of all the funding agencies and what kind of the research project and what are their specialized area under which they are sponsoring project for the various organizations. So thank you very much for this particular session. Tomorrow